What do you guys think the big difference between Game Pass and Premium is? You know, like we had an experience playing. My first experience with Game Pass was us playing Ninja Turtles that weekend. I thought it was amazing. I was looking at the titles. They had games I had on a 360. You know, I find out that you could upload my original save data and go and start where I left off of those games and play on my PC. I thought that was really cool, man. But now I see that Sony is trying to do their own thing as well. I don't know if it's like the same as Game Pass. Maybe you guys can kind of like tell me some of the differences. But my experience with Game Pass was pretty awesome. I thought this is like the future of gaming, especially like cloud gaming. You know, being able to play games on your tablet, you know, or whatever like that, PC, console. I don't know if you can play on your phone, maybe. I mean, certain games possibly. That's awesome. You know, that's just, you can play games on the go whenever you want, anywhere.
Well, that's
you are so late, but I'm so happy you have come to Game Pass. Yeah.
Well, I think that like PlayStation Plus Premium, even though it's pretty new, I was actually really, really blown away by the amount of games and the games, what games were on there, right? All the Resident Evils, just amazing titles that I maybe it's just my preference of games, but a lot of my preference games were there. And now they're doing what Xbox is doing. Like I told Kag, you know, before, I don't know how it worked, but apparently you had to have your PlayStation in rest mode and you could play your PlayStation from somewhere else, right? Mm-hmm. Through the network or whatever. But now I just, you know, I was at work and we had a power outage and I went on the PlayStation app and I could start playing right from my PC. And then I found out you can play from your mobile. So and like I said, none of this would happen if it wasn't for Game Pass. Game Pass is the one that's pushing this stuff and making Sony go, oh gosh, we got to do something quick. You know, I wish the backwards compatibility thing would have been pushed, would have went through. Yeah, a little more for PlayStation. But I'm, you know, like, and they're adding new games. You know, Stray's coming out here in a little bit. That's a Sony title, day one release on PlayStation. Where have we heard that? Available day one on Game Pass, right? Like if that's and Sony's like, man, we got to release new games,
and that's the glaring difference between PlayStation Plus Premium and Game Pass, right? Every first party Xbox title day one in Game Pass. Sony's going to get there. Sony's been kicking and screaming not to get there. They don't want to, but they have to. And I know they're going to get there. You know, so I don't even get into the whole argument about it, because to stay relevant, you have to. It's Game Pass is amazing because you can use it anywhere. So you have it on your phone, right? You have it on your tablet, you have it on your PC, you have it on your Steam Deck, you have it on your system, you have it everywhere. And then also on the system, they have the option now with certain games where you can just cloud stream them even on the system. So instead of having to download the game or wait for it to download, you can just stream it now from the Xbox console, which is pretty awesome. PlayStation Plus Premium is awesome too. I looked at their list of games. They got a crap ton of games, right?
Crazy.
And then for anybody that is coming new to PlayStation, say you haven't been a PlayStation or you didn't have a PlayStation, this is the best experience you're going to have. Get PlayStation Plus Premium because you have God of War, you have Uncharted, you have Horizon, the first one. You have all of those games, Days Gone, all of those games right there in PlayStation Premium. All the heavy hitters that PlayStation has released in the past, you have right there that you can just play as soon as you come to the console. Now you can create this love affair with those franchises and maybe buy the next iteration of that game when it actually comes out. So I personally think they're both great consoles for those great programs for those platforms. The only thing PlayStation needs to do is just bring day one games to it, and then it will be as good as Game Pass. Just bring day one games. You know, the day they come out, launch them, because you're going to make your money, Sony. You're bringing the games to PlayStation already. So you're going to make, to a PC already, you have a huge revenue stream from that. So just bring them to your service day one and you'll be great.
How do you feel about Sony's, obviously the premium was born because of the Game Pass. But do you think it'll ever be on the level that Game Pass is? Because I went to Game Pass, there's over 400 games available.
If they do it right, it could be better.
It could
Really?
be.
I know that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think either one will ever be. Okay, so when you say better, it'll be better for a month, and then the next month the other one will be better.
Separate,
They'll both will give and take. Same thing like with the free games they give away right now. Sony has great games one month, so Xbox has horrible games the next month, and then Xbox has good games this month, and Sony, you know, it's give or take. So I don't think they'll ever pass each other to be where PlayStation would just be a standing star amongst the whole service.
Nor would you want that. You need that healthy competition.
You want that competition. And with they'll get there, right? They'll get there. All Sony needs is the day in, day out top exclusives, and then they'll be good. And then you have this narrative, this little voice in the background that's trying to say, and I hate this, when people try to speak for developers, like you work for the company, like their pockets. They're saying Xbox Game Pass is killing this. They're hurting the developers. Developers aren't making enough money. But when you find out how this actually works, that if you download a game and play it for a certain amount of time, Microsoft is paying them the full cost of that game. Right. So that actually is helping the developers, because there's games people would have never bought or played because of PlayStation Plus and Game Pass. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. I don't have to. I'm paying my monthly subscription. I don't have to spend $60. I'll try. And guess what? I was, that happened to me. Lotus War. I wouldn't have played it without Game Pass. What was the other one? I'll come back to this. I can't remember the other two games. But these games I would have never played until I played them on Game Pass, and those are some of my favorite games of this year.
Right.
So I'll go next, because I own 0 Xbox games, and I only have an Xbox because of Game Pass. And I really love. I mean, we've talked about it so much on your podcast, Reggie, which is these retro nostalgic games that we want to play, and we don't want to emulate it. But there you have it. There was 1 month where I bought a bunch of I didn't buy, but on Game Pass they had a bunch of Neo Geo games, and I was just loading up on them. Your Metal Slugs, which we see anthologies, which if at the time you go on the PS4 store and they want to charge you $8, not even for a physical copy. But as I look at premium, so I haven't got premium yet because I wanted to see what comes out. I always give things a month or two, because they will get better. It was cool to actually see PSP games on the PlayStation Plus store. I didn't expect that. There's only 3 of them, but to know that they can do that, things will get better.
They're playing catch up right now.
Yes. So it's gonna take some time.
And think about the library they have.
Yeah. And the one thing I love about the Game Pass on the Xbox is being able to just share it with someone, or let someone know, yo, this has came out, and right from there you can have it. Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I played it the same way. I was like, this is how I'm going to play it. I'm going to have it right on the Xbox day one. We've all talked about that. But the cool thing is, I still got my achievements. So when I got my achievements on Game Pass, it was nice to be like, I have this done, that's it. And then they have achievements for older OG Xbox games, which is really cool. I don't know if they have that yet on like PS1 games or PS2 games or PSP games.
They have what?
Achievements.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yes.
So that's like another reason why I kind of want to go back and play these games. Like, I know Tekken 2 is on there, and that is my favorite fighting game of all time on the PS1. And so we just have to let it evolve more. Yeah. I think what will make
can I say the first iteration of PlayStation Premium is very impressive.
Yes.
And it kind of made me mad that like all these YouTubers trying to get ahead of the game, like big YouTubers got ahead of the game, and they're like, I downloaded the PlayStation 1 games on in Europe, and they run like crap, and they went to the pale. And then come to find out, when they got released here, they ran just totally fine. They were American versions, and they actually shed bad light on PlayStation Premium. Right. And that kind of takes me off. It's like, hey, dude, you don't even know what they have different regions for a different reason. They know, you know, and it was they're going off what happened on the PlayStation Mini, you know, and so it painted in a bad light. And even I was kind of like, man, I hope they do fix that or whatever. But in my brain, I was like, no. PlayStation's smarter than that. They're gonna come out with our versions of our games. Sure enough, man, when I loaded it up, man, they look so beautiful. The emulation that they're running on this hardware, you know, they've been working on backwards compatibility. If it came down to it, you knew they were doing all this behind the scenes. And then just Game Pass shed such a huge light, and then you know, backwards compatibility took the back seat that they had to do this, and you know, so hey, at least we get something. And I think the first iteration is really, really good.
The last thing I want to say is, if you get this, wow, the PS3 library that they have right now is massive for this month.
And trophies, everything's there.
Yes,
it's awesome. Now
everything syncs up.
What's that?
Everything syncs up with your account, like you had trophies and all this stuff.
Yeah, and it runs really, really good. You know, it's crazy. Now, can you said you can share Game Pass. Can you share a game on Xbox?
Yes.
Kind of like on PlayStation 5, I can invite Reggie to play Mortal Kombat 11. He doesn't have Mortal Kombat 11. He can come in and play with me.
No. Well, hold up. They had something. It was called. They might actually have that. I've never used it. What is it called? I can't remember. I have to look it up. But there is something like that, but I've never used it, where you can have somebody take over your controller. But I think that was a part of Mixer. So maybe not.
Okay. So no, like that's where I'm thinking PlayStation could, you know, have some really cool things with that whole library. You have a 2-player game. If they have a PS5, you could literally, they just jump into your game.
That's how some Steam's game work. Steam's girls.
Yeah.
Steam games work. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
I'm looking at the PS3 library that they have on there. They're like Darkstalkers Resurrection. They have 2 of the Deceptions on there. Your Desiga.
The
3 Desigas.
The PS3 collection of games is really going to really help the premium thing on Sony's side, because what people want are PS3 games. I mean, they want that backwards compatibility. We all know that Sony kind of dropped the ball with the PS3. Man, that system, though very powerful, is a hard system to emulate. You know, and
cell processor was terrible.
I know, right? It took the developers a long time to figure out how to work.
Man, if they could dip into more of that like the PS3 library, I was impressed. I was like, wow, they got these games going. If they can get into the PS3, the PS2, oh my gosh, there's so many amazing games. And then some of the games they're putting on there, like Ys 8, Ys 9. I'm like, what? That's on there? Like, I couldn't even believe it.
I think their sweet spot for Sony is going to be PS3. Yeah, they really need to focus on PS3. I have over 200 some PlayStation 3 games, and that's why I won't ever get rid of them, because you can't play them anywhere else.
Exactly.
They kind of live and die on that system.
But now it gives us hope, right?
It does give us hope.
We can. That maybe one day because I like every collection here. Like I'm starting on my PS2. The GameCube's, the Nintendo DS is already gone. That's already been sold. The GameCube is next. Like PS3 in my brain is last if I sell everything. Because everything kind of like lives there. Yeah. And there's no other home for it. They
have Double Dragon Neo right now. If you had it, like that's like I remember that used to be like the hardest physical game.
Well, they have physicals for Switch and stuff.
Yeah, now they do. It was on sale at Best Buy.
Someone told me it was coming out for PS5, but I might be wrong. I don't know.
So with the whole Game Pass in PlayStation Premium, do you guys think they're worth the price points that they're asking?
For sure.
What is the price points again?
Let's say you bought Stray.
$14.99 a month for Xbox, and then PlayStation, I think Premium Plus is $19, I think. But regardless of that monthly cost, and I know what Joe's about to say, because we're going to go right and say, regardless of that monthly cost, if you pay a year of that, it's usually the cost of 2 to 3 games that you buy physical.
Yeah.
Now you
Maybe
have
just
access.
two,
Yeah, maybe.
honestly.
Well, on PlayStation definitely because there's 70. A lot of games are 70
Yeah.
instead of
So
60.
2 games you buy.
Yeah, 2 games you buy. You've paid the cost of it for a whole year, and now you have access to hundreds of games. Now on Xbox, where they're kind of winning out right now, is they have all their first party exclusives on there. You know, they just bought Bethesda and they're buying Activision. So all that stuff is coming, right? Once Sony gets there, it's going to be just as competitive and desirable. If you look at it, it's $14 a month. So you're looking at $15. It's was at $330?
Mhm.
No, $360. $360 a year you're paying for Game Pass, right? $360. So that's basically about 3 to 4 games that will cover that. Now you don't have to worry about it. It's paid for itself. And then on top of that, with Xbox, when you play, you earn money. A lot of people don't know that. They don't talk about that.
Right.
Well,
When
what's
you
up with
play, when you play games and you get
Reggie heard money.
achievements, yeah, when you play games, you get achievements. Microsoft gives you points. When you buy a game, when you buy a game during a certain period, they'll give you points. Those points turn into money that you use on the Microsoft Store. So
Oh.
not just on the Xbox. Say you get enough points, you could buy a Surface tablet, or you could buy a camera on the Microsoft Store. Those points go across everywhere. You can use them to get.
I think Kag, you can
cards
use them
and
on
everything.
GameStop too, right?
I'm not
so.
sure if you can use them on GameStop. I know they have like a partnership with Microsoft, but I'm not entirely
Or I think
sure.
you could use them to get GameStop like
Gift cards.
Gift
Yes.
cards. There you
Yes, you can use them to get GameStop gift cards. So they are doing that. So, you know, it is worth its weight in gold. It's just people have to get used to digital versus physical. And that's really where the gap is kind of, you have to fill
Which
it
is
in.
a topic we will handle at Game On Expo this August. Don't miss
Yes.
it. We'll all be there. And some.
And then with PlayStation Plus Premium, listen, I love PlayStation Plus Premium. I have PlayStation Plus Premium. I will tell anybody that if you're new to the PlayStation, or if you haven't played some of those games, dude, there's no better deal. Days Gone, a lot of people didn't play Days Gone. It kind of got lost in the mix because of other titles that came out. It is a good game.
Yeah.
You can play it for free on PlayStation Plus. If you didn't get into Uncharted, which if you got a PlayStation, you ain't played Uncharted, something's wrong. Free PlayStation Plus, right? Then you have The Last of Us, the remastered is in there. And I think the new one's coming in there if it's not already in there. Last of Us 2 is also coming there. So it's worth its weight in gold, man. And they'll get there. They'll get there with day one releases. They're not ready yet, but I give it a year. I think this time next year, the day a game drops physical for PlayStation, it'll drop day one in their PlayStation Plus Premium. I think they're on the verge of it because they see how successful Microsoft is with it. And also they're buying up developers to be able to bring those games. You know, you have to build a library outside of your first party games to make it desirable, because you can't just live off of first party games.
Right.
You need the others, you need the extras in it. So I see where they're going.
How many games are in Game Pass?
Game Pass is over like 400 right now.
So right now, PlayStation Plus Premium has over 400 titles.
Wow.
So just, you know, I mean, they're there. If not, they're just lagging a little bit behind. And it's going to be crazy. I think once they start dropping those day one releases, man, it's the competition has begun, and that's what we see, and that's what we need, and stuff's going to happen.
Well,
Think of
Keith,
this, Joel. If PlayStation, and they're going to get there, and I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when. We're just going to say when, because they're going to do it.
They have to have
When-
full
They're
now,
almost
yeah.
When PlayStation allows you to play your games anywhere like Xbox is doing, essentially everybody, it will blur the consoles, because now everybody will just have a subscription. You can play on your phone, you can play on your tablet.
But
Like
why is that not now? I mean, I can play on my phone, PlayStation. I can play on
No. You can play
a certain
So you can
part
have-
of the
you can-
catalog.
right a
You're
certain
saying
part, everything. So if you know, for
So they're
example,
almost there.
Yeah, so I'm saying there.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing anything. I'm saying when they get there, because I'm not going to say if, because they're going to do it. So when they get there, what I'm trying to say is that it will make it easier for people to not be fanboys anymore and just play those games. Because now for $14 a month, I have access to both libraries no matter where I'm at. So if I'm on my tablet, say I'm on my iPad, I have a Bluetooth Xbox controller or a Bluetooth PS5 controller, sync it to that and pull up my game and play it. I'm at work and I'm on lunch and I want to play it, and there's no PS5 portable, there's no Xbox portable, but I can use my tablet to play those games. That's the game changer.
Yeah.
When those consoles do that, now,
but you can do that now with PS5.
Easier. Well, no, you can't, because I can't play the new PS5 releases like Forbidden Horizon West on my tablet. I'm talking about when all of their games are available. So this is okay. This is not a debate. This is not a
right.
PlayStation versus Xbox conversation right now, right? This is saying that when PlayStation has all of their games day one in their service, and they have fully adopted where you can play your games no matter what on any platform, that brings more people in. So now it's no longer, I think that people are going to be, I'm a PlayStation guy or I'm an Xbox guy, because you don't have to buy an Xbox. You don't have to buy a PlayStation. You can just load them up on your PC or on your phone. It helps out the community and it stops the console wars, because you don't have to have the system to play the games.
I've always said we would just arrive at the day where you don't buy consoles, you just buy controllers.
Right.
And that would be the future of gaming. But it's gonna be a crazy day when you load up PS5 and you spark up Game Pass. Now, if that ever happens, that'd be crazy.
I just can't see the companies, either one of them, being okay with that. Company-wise,
I understand.
Yeah.
Well,
fantastic.
Microsoft
got a war on PC.
Microsoft already offered to put Game Pass on PlayStation and Nintendo.
Are you serious?
He openly offered. He what's his name? What's the CEO? Phil Spencer said, "I want Game Pass on PlayStation. I want it on Nintendo." He said it.
I think he's the creator of PlayStation Home.
Yeah, he's the closest. Nintendo's the closest to where I think Game Pass will be. Game Pass is already on the Steam Deck. I have Game Pass on my Steam Deck, so it's already there. Will it ever come to PlayStation? PlayStation has the Japanese have too much pride. They're not going to let it happen. I don't think it'll ever happen.
Correct.
We want it to happen, but how would you feel?
Oh, never mind. I was totally wrong.
How would you feel as a console maker if the Halo was a number one selling game on your console and it's not even your game? I don't think PlayStation ever wants it,
or not even highly played in your country.
Right,
not even highly played in your country.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever let that happen. It would be amazing if they did. That really.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It'd be a crazy day if that happened.
It would be a crazy.
Because you were talking about playing your games anywhere. So when you say anywhere, I'm like, even a PS5?
You can play. Okay, you can play them on a PS5 right now if you want. All you do is load up the web browser.
Right. Yeah.
You can load up the web browser.
There's workarounds for everything, right?
Yeah, you can load up the web browser on the PS5 and play a game through xCloud on your PS5 if you wanted to.
Right. There's workarounds for everything.
But Kag, for him to come out and say that, remember, he's Microsoft. These are people with, I almost want to say, an infinite amount of money that they can buy out anyone. I can buy out Bethesda. I can buy out Blizzard. I can buy out whoever comes next. It's easy for you to say that when you have the entire, army behind you to your competitor. But when you don't have that, you don't want to say stuff like that. So I can see him saying, "Oh, I'd love to have Game Pass on that." Why? Because now we own a portion of Sony. Now Sony has to do it our way. I'd love to offer this to Nintendo. Why? Because we own a portion of them.
Well, I think it makes sense for. So look at Phil Spencer, Satya Nadella, I think is that their CEO of Microsoft. I think is that. Look at how they're thinking, because they did the same thing with Microsoft Office. Remember, Microsoft Office is just a Windows product. Now it's everywhere. Because they understand They want to be where the consumer's at. PlayStation has 100 million consoles sold. So if I put Game Pass on there, that's 100 million new customers that I could have. We don't care about, I don't think he actually cares about console wars. That means nothing to him. I honestly believe that. He's looking at the bottom tax, the dollar. If I can if people can access my games, 100 million PlayStation users, 100 million Nintendo users, I'm with that because I'm going to get paid regardless of what it is. And then Xbox never dies. You know, that's what he wants. You know, that's smart.
I'm going to disagree because I believe his tactic of thinking is this, and it's always been the Microsoft tactic, which is there should only be one, and it should only be us.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, they always monopolize things.
I don't think so, man.
This is the problem. Microsoft has gone through transitions of bad management. So you had Don Matrick, which was a horrible CEO of
Correct.
Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you're saying it and you're making it happen, if you're saying to me, I want my games playable anywhere, everywhere, and then you're making it happen anywhere, ever, you can't dispute it. That's what if he's saying it and doing it, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's his goal.
We have this idea that it's some evil empire. Any company wants you to be intact with their product. You know, so now I'm not saying don't get anything. Look at Apple. Apple just put Apple Music, not just, but Apple Music is on Android. You know what I'm saying? So they got the frame of mind. Okay, we can't convert an Android user to an iPhone user, but they like Apple Music. So we'll just bring it to them where they're at. So we can still get a piece of the pie. We don't want the whole pie. Wow, we can get a piece of the pie. And that's what Microsoft's saying. We don't want to do without Sony. We want a piece of what Sony has to offer as their customer base. So we're going to put it there and offer it to them. We don't want to be the heel. We want to be a part of your heel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. And that's really where I think what he's trying to do is be a part of it.